chinyarara iwe. Chinyarara iwe. Shoo, 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 mwana wangu, amaiva nokuda, ndipo paugere. Chinyarara mwana wangu, usachemewe. Shoo, 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 chiedza changu, amaiva nokuda, ndipo paugere. Chinyarara mwana wangu, usachemewe. Togozani, Hotep Royals. Togozani, Togozani, Togozani. How is everyone doing? Happy Sunday in the Southern Hemisphere. I know it's morning that side. This side, it's late night. Togozani, Togozani, please come on in. How's everyone doing? I thought I would come in with a full moon message. Oh, lots going on. But the full moon message is so critical and so important. I thought I would come in and share with you because it's this is not your usual full moon. Usually with the full moon, I come on, I tell you about it, and then we do our usual rituals, which are for the full moon, always release rituals, right? These are rituals that involve you letting go of things that no longer serve you. Well, this is that too, but it's also something else. So for those of you who know and those of you who are tapped in, you all know that we are going through a massive collective awakening. Now, there are those who are tuned in and who have been tuned in for several years and who understand why this massive collective awakening is happening. And then, of course, there are those who are not tapped in, but who are seeing certain signs and certain things that are happening and don't quite know how to explain it. But one thing for sure, everybody out there knows that there is a lot going on currently. There's no way you cannot know unless you're living under a rock. And even if you're living under a rock, you've experienced something or some things, right? So I wanted to come on with a message for this particular full moon. We are in the season of Heru. The season of Heru represented usually by a falcon. And this is the season where when we talk about Heru, we are talking about Heru as the victor. Heru as the victor or victress. Heru as the one or that electromagnetic frequency of overcoming. When we talk about Heru and why Heru is represented by the falcon, it is because of the properties or qualities, if you like, of a falcon. We know that a falcon is usually in fact, it's a solitary bird. It's a solitary bird. You'll never find falcons together clumped up as, say, how you see these ducks or these geese that fly in swarms and droves. No. What do they call those birds? An aviary of birds, meaning that birds that flock together. That is not the falcon. The falcon is a bird that is a solo operator. It's a lone ranger. And it's a lone ranger that really soars way, way, way above the earth. Heru soars way above the earth. And this is, the properties of a falcon are that when the falcon is hunting, because the falcon ascends, talk about ascension. I want you to catch the buzzwords because I'm going to then explain what this moon in Heru is about and why it is so synchronized with the season of Heru, the season that we're currently in. So now here you have this falcon. The falcon flies very high. The falcon is circumspect. And the falcon, because he/she flies very high, is able to see its prey with great clarity and therefore can attack its prey with precision. I'm sure you've seen those National Geographic used to love to show those, how an eagle or a falcon will be so high up so that it looks like a tiny bird, and it'll be flying above water. And because of its laser sharp vision, it's able to see a fish and dive right down and then use its talons to pick up that fish. And it's usually a very big fish. Or they can pick up rabbits. They can pick up squirrel. Hell, we've had pictures where they can pick up babies. Yes, they can. That is how strong also they are. And then fly way up. Now, when they fly up high, what is it that they are doing? They are taking this prey way up into the stratosphere, where the higher you go, the less oxygen there is. And so this animal that is struggling in the claws or the talons of the falcon eventually asphyxiates, meaning that it dies from lack of oxygen. So then it's taken, and the nests, by the way, the eagle's nests are usually high up on mountains. They generally don't nest in trees. They're not no trees high enough. So it's usually high up on mountaintops. And therefore, then the eagle will take its prey. And usually if the eagle was hatching some baby eagles, they get fed, right? So very interesting. And I want you to catch these properties because they will come into our discussion when we talk about why is this relevant to you currently. The other thing about Heru and this energy we're in is the energy of resilience and persistence. When a falcon is getting old, and they live to I think 70 or something years old, when they start getting old, this is insane. What they do is they go high up on a mountain, again, all alone. And what they do then when they're high up on the mountain is they start removing their old claws. It looks like a very painful process. They will remove, on a stone, they will scratch off their beak, remove their talons, and you can actually see blood there. And the reason they do that is so that new claws and a new beak can regenerate, so that they're able to continue living and hunting. So this is something that you need to keep in mind because we're going to talk about this. As painful as that process is, the falcon knows and understands that unless it does that, it is going to starve to death. So it allows this very painful process of regeneration to happen. And it will stay up there on the mountain with no food until the new talons and the new beak have actually grown. So those are just some of the properties or some of the qualities of the falcon which made our ancestors choose it to represent this season. The Heru season is the season of ascension. Now you ask yourself, so where do we come into all this? Well, this full moon is a full moon in which you are being invited by Great Mother. You are being invited to step confidently into your power. Now, like I said, the age we're in is the age of the divine feminine. It is the age in which so many people are being invited. Remember, you have a choice. You're being invited to step into your power. Many of you are like, what is my power? Well, that's for you to find out. But there are a lot, particularly in Ndlovukazi women, who are not fully stepped into their power, meaning they don't really even know who they are. If you don't know who you are, then you can't really know what your power is as a woman, as a creator, because you are a creator. So this is an invitation. And for the men who might say, well, why are we being excluded? I'm getting a lot of that these days. And so I will say to you, remember something. The divine feminine is in all of us. As a man, you have the X chromosome and the Y chromosome. Your X chromosome represents the divine feminine element in you, the divine feminine energy. I've also explained previously that before you actually became masculine, you were encoded as XY. But embryology and looking at the genital features of an embryo tells us that till about 6 to 8 weeks, we are all undifferentiated and we are all very much female. Because of the Y chromosome, right, which is a mutation of the X, it started out as XX, and with time, it mutated and a chunk of it got lost, and that is why it is now XY. So what we say in biology is that being female is constitutive, meaning being female is the blueprint. So there are many men who reject that because they have internalized misogyny and actually don't like women. If you don't like women, if you don't like the divine feminine, there is no way you can get in touch with your authentic power. Not the superficial, external, 3D physical strength that all of you all call power, which patriarchy has trapped you into believing that is real power. It's not real power. It's an illusion. And so if you are a masculine and you want to get in touch with your divine power, not physical, your divine spiritual power authentically, you're going to have to do some work around your views, your feelings towards the divine feminine who actually created you. You come out of the divine feminine. So I've addressed that part, right? Very important. And all I can say is for the men who find this offensive and for the men who are triggered whenever I say this, because there are plenty who get triggered. I see it all over my socials. They come in, they're like, yeah, you know, man is more spiritually powerful, physically stronger, and more intelligent than woman because woman came out of our rib. They're like, yeah, we came out of the rib. There are people who still believe that fairy tale over spiritual science, because really spirituality is science. And our ancestors knew this. So I invite you to go within yourself this season, this full moon. And I invite you to, if you're able to see the moon tonight, to go and put yourself there and have her bear witness to you saying, I'm taking this invitation to step into my divine power. For women, can divine feminine make us more creative? Absolutely. This is where creativity comes. And a lot of the time, a lot of men aren't really creative in that what I call sacred creative space because they're not in touch with their divine feminine. When you are in touch and you reverence your divine feminine nature because it is in you, you came out of woman, you came out of the divine feminine, your life will shift. I know men who have done this. They're not many, but I know men who have done this. And when you move or you are around them, you can tell. They are very secure in who they are. They're not out there posturing and trying to, be macho. They're not in their ego. They don't feel threatened by feminine power. They don't feel threatened by strong women. They can engage authentically with women. And when I say engage authentically, they don't feel like they need to perform, because a lot of what men do in front of women is performative. It is not real. It is not authentic, which is why, because it's performative, it doesn't last very long. You can only be acting for so long before your true colors come out. It requires a lot of deep healing, this thing, right? And so that's my message to the divine masculine. So when I talk about the divine feminine or I address women, please do not in any way start to feel like I'm attacking you, because that is where the problem lies. The way patriarchy has staged and characterized this is that women must be voiceless and the dominant voice must always be masculine. So when feminine voices are speaking in their authority as creator, a lot of men find themselves seriously triggered. And the real reason they're seriously triggered is because patriarchy has you believing that we are in some kind of competition, men and women. That is something you need to work yourself out of. Nobody is in competition with anyone. That is why currently the divine feminine is like, okay, you know what? Since you all hurt us, since you all wound us, since you all try to it's almost like impress some sort of superiority over us, we're going to leave you alone and we're going to do us. And if you look honestly and objectively, the divine feminine is thriving. The divine masculine, they've come up with so many terms. What do they call it? The male loneliness epidemic. Why is that? And you say, well, women must be lonely too. No, we're not. No, we're not. Because we are full in ourselves, XX. We are balanced. Divine masculine, you need feminine energy to balance you. And if you're not balancing it in yourselves, that is why you're drawn to the divine feminine. Most of you are drawn to the divine feminine, not out of a genuine desire to be in a relationship of companionship or a relationship of mutual respect and love, because most of you don't know what love is. You are trying to fill that emptiness because we are balanced, XX. So y'all are trying to fill that imbalance because of that XY. So you perform your way into tricking us to get with you. And then by the same thing, because that loneliness, that thing, we can't fill that for you. You have to find that within yourself. You have to balance yourself out. You end up resenting us. You end up being in competition with us. You become threatened by the confidence. You become threatened by the put togetherness. You become threatened by the creativity. You become threatened by the brilliance. Meanwhile, it sits with you in that X chromosome that you are rejecting so violently. Most of you because you had lousy mothers. Most of you because because of the women that you are meeting who are also broken, and who were broken by who? By someone like yourselves. Do you see that we're in a vicious cycle with this thing? So I said it 3 years ago. I said the great separation is coming, where men will be here by themselves and women will be here. The key to healing that rift that has come is that as the divine feminine heals and comes into her power, the divine masculine better be doing some healing work too. You're going to have to unlearn the nonsense that patriarchy has taught you about who you are and has taught you about who the divine feminine is. You've been lied to. And at some point, it served your purpose. Miserable though you were, it served your purpose to buy into the patriarchal narrative. But now, with the dawn of matriarchy and the divine feminine, that stance won't serve you any purpose at all. We see people all over the social, all over their podcasts, they're hemming and huffing and hemming and huffing. And all you see is a bunch of angry men who feel rejected. But you see, the rejections didn't start with us rejecting you. The rejection started with you rejecting to reconcile your masculine self with the divine feminine from whom you came. So if you are a masculine and you're able to sit this out, go celibate, because most of you are just out there humping and bumping and doing all sorts of nonsense to distract yourself from doing the serious work. Most men don't like being alone. They find being by themselves too torturous, because now when you're by yourself, you're hearing here the conversations you're having with yourself. You don't want those conversations. They mess you up. So what do? Let me go out and distract myself. Let me go out and distract myself. You're going to need to sit down with this one. And you can make a commitment to do that so that you show up as a better masculine. Otherwise, I want to tell you the truth. Can I just tell you the truth? Can I just tell you the truth of what the mandate is? The divine masculine who does not wake up is going to be destroyed along with the palm-colored creatures. She's purging. She's cleansing this entire planet, the cosmos, of all parasitic entities. So if you want to be recognized as a parasitic entity, your melanin won't save you. Because if your ways are parasitic, if your ways are destructive, if your ways are vampiric, suck the lifeblood out of women, you are going to be removed with the other entities that have been doing the same. Now, I hope we all heard you. Somebody's like, they're not ready. Well, the thing is, if they're not ready, there's nothing anyone can do. And me as mama, I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. I recognize the fact that we birthed y'all. We birthed you all. And so, if you don't want to hear, you don't want to hear. You cannot take a horse to the river and make it drink. You can only take it to the river. If the horse no one drink, there's nothing I can do. My work will be done. I'm doing my work. I'm doing my work. And I've been sending out these messages. I'm telling you, for those who've been following me for the last 3 years, when I was shown that the great separation is upon us. And all I've watched over the last, this was what, 2020, must be 2022, going to 2023. And all I've been made to observe is that, the great separation is here and it's going to intensify. So this full moon really gives that opportunity for you to step into your divine self, to step into your power. For the divine feminine, many of you, again, I'll say this, you don't really know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, it's not your fault. Again, patriarchy. But guess what? As the saying goes, you're not responsible for your wounding, but you're responsible for your healing. Right? You're not. You're not responsible for everything that's happened. You're not responsible. You're not. But you are responsible for your healing. And you have to heal and step into your power. Because right now, the divine feminine is who really needs to be hands on deck in terms of healing Great Mother Earth, in terms of healing this cosmos. How, you ask yourself? When you do your healing work, when you go inward, when you get rid of things that no longer serve you, and when I say things, I include people that no longer serve you. When you sit with yourself and can reckon with your shadow, when you sit with yourself and work through your guilt and your shame, and you work through the things, because your guilt and your shame is what is keeping you stuck. It is what is keeping you without the confidence to fully step into your power. When someone says you're a goddess, you hear it here. But does it resonate with the cells of your body? When someone says you are goddess, you are creator, are you hearing it here? Or is it clicking those DNA? You know, we've got these DNA codes for remembrance running through our whole DNA. Is it turning them on? Is it turning them on? Because ultimately what needs to happen is your whole auric body, your light body needs to start shining. I am so in love when I go through the social media streets and I see Indlovukazi and I see, it's mainly women I've seen so far, who are now doing telekinesis like it's drinking water. Literally, they have come in touch with what is called the Merkaba. The Merkaba, which is like the center or the seed of your divinity. This is when you're now able to shift energy and make things move without touching them. This is now when you are able to sit and focus on something without even necessarily looking at it and have it move. This is when you can go outside and you work your Merkaba and you work that Merkaba, you work it and the trees start going shush, 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 shush. This is where you can go outside and you see that a storm is coming and you work your Merkaba and you put out that energy and that communication and the storm dissipates. This is the level at which we are now being called to step confidently into our power. But as long as you're doubting yourself, as long as there are feelings of unworthiness in you, as long as there are feelings, like I said, of guilt and shame, as long as there are feelings of imposter syndrome, meaning, who am I to call myself a goddess? It must be for them other women. Well, you're not going to get in touch with that power. And you're failing us as the collective. You're failing Great Mother, and you're failing the Divine Feminine Collective because we need all hands on deck right now. We need all hands on deck right now. Some of you will be called to be grid workers. What is a grid worker? A grid worker is one who can transport themselves to the different ley lines across the entire planet and unlock grids that have been suppressed. These grids that are suppressed are portals. We need all portals open. Some of you are going to be asked. Remember I did in the last live where I was talking about cowrie shells and I said Great Mother will be knocking and she will be offering some of you cowrie shells. Some of you are being called to work with the primordial waters, with the oceans. To do what? To purge, to cleanse, to release ancestors that are tied down there. To release the marine beings that are trapped. Because believe you me, they have many of them trapped. And we need the dolphins. We need the whales. We need the mermaids. We need all those marine beings freed. And she needs you to do that. So there are those of you who are being shown, and she'll show you the different things. The key is first step into your power. Yeah, Sunshine says, yeah, the Black Magic Grid has been working on those. Good, Nana. Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy because they usually have them guarded, right? I know. They usually have them guarded by the who-you-know-who's. And it's not fun to go to war with those. But the fact that she's sending you there means that you have the capability. And that is why you do need to step into your power and you do not need to fear. Because even those entities that guard these grids that they have suppressed, the black magic grids, guess what? The one thing they bargain on is you fearing them. You're finished. Right now is not the time for fear. That's why it's an invitation to step confidently and without fear into your power. It's an invitation. Because the one thing that will never be tampered is our free will. Whether you accept the invitation or not is not going to stop this train from moving. The only thing is you're getting left behind. You can't ever, like, what a time to be alive. I don't want to be left behind. I'm tired of this mess. I'm here. I've been here for years of this whole system and this whole mess that we are imprisoned in. You are offered an opportunity to be part of the ones who clears this crap out, who cleans this mess out, who assists, because once those grids are unlocked, then what happens is the earth's vibration will shoot, and then that is the end of the parasites. They cannot deal with high vibrations. That's why they like low vibrational energy. They cannot deal with high vibrations. That is why I'm always like, stop being distracted by politics. Stop being distracted by ICE over here. Stop being distracted by the orange monster. Those are distractions. The real battle is not here on this earth. The real battle is not going to be won by protests. The real battle is up here in the ethers. And that is why you're being asked to step into your power so you can tap in. A failure to tap in, you get left behind. A failure to tap in. There's nothing that boosts your confidence and makes you more fearless than to be sent on a mission and to be successful in that first mission. After that, you're unstoppable. After that, you fear nothing. And then they can't do anything to you. They'll try. We'll know that they're not going to give up like that. They will continue trying. But once you have been in the battlefield and you have won, that, like, you are untouchable after that. Because you know now. Now you know. You've experienced what your power is. You've been able to utilize your strength, your power, your magic, and achieved something. And once that, it only needs to happen once. And then you're on your way. Oh, of course. So very, very important to take this invitation up. Take this invitation up. Do the work. If there are things that are hindering you and you feel like I can't. Like I said, I named the things that could be stopping you. For indlovukazi, woundedness, and holding on to things that no longer serve you. Why are you sitting in relationships that no longer serve you? What are you doing there? What are you doing? Most of y'all are sitting in relationships that you know are dead end. You're sitting in relationships with people you know are toxic, who have run you to the ground, and yet you still stay. Why? See, I'm not going to stroke you anymore. I'm not going to be all nicey nice because of the time that we're in. I need all of us to woman up and grow up and realize that the fate of this planet is literally in our hands. Every day, aren't you getting tired of hearing of our children getting raped? Our sisters are getting unalived. Aren't you tired of it? Like, aren't you tired? And we all know that there's nothing within this system that is going to bring about anything called justice. There is no justice in this system that we are currently living in. Therefore, we have to execute divine justice. It's there for us, for the taking. You know, it's there for us for the taking. So what really, really needs to happen is for you all to tap in, for you all to, I'm grieving, leaving family right now due to my shift. It happens. It happens. It happens. You know? It happens. Sorry, I just had to block somebody there. Oh. So very, very important, family, that we understand the time we are in. Those who are able, we are over here in the freezer. Please spend time in nature. Nature has so much to teach you. Go and connect with nature. Get out of the taverns, get out of the pubs, get out of the clubs, go hike. Go by a river, and if you find it dirty because you know how people do, go clean that river. Do something that connects you with nature. Grow a garden. Start planting your own food. Teach your children. Plant your garden with your little people. Start doing things that connect you with nature. Because that's really where our solutions lie, is that connection with nature. That's where the activation of who you truly are and the remembrance of you, who you truly are, is going to come from, through nature. Very, very important. Yes, go to the oceans, sing. Go stand by the ocean, even if you don't get in, and sing. And sing to her. Don't throw things in there. We're just polluting her for nothing. We're adding to her burden. Go and sing to her. Go and sing to her. And you're doing this for the ocean, not the water deities that are in there. You're doing it for her, who carries the water deities. They reverence her too, because she houses them. This is the season of ascension. The season of Heru, like I described to you, the qualities of the falcon or the eagle, it ascends. So this is the season of ascension. Stop being scared to grow spiritually. Stop doubting yourself. Stop doubting the things you're shown in the dreamscape. Many of you are supposed to be timeline workers. You're supposed to be existing on different timelines simultaneously. You're scared of that. Something happens in the dreamscape and you wake up and you're like, oh, hell no, I'm not embracing that. Like, I don't know what's going on. You're missing out on your mission. And slowly, she is bringing together the core, the circle, who are going to be charting this work out. We are not even going to be communicating online very soon. We're not going to be communicating via these media very soon. Why? You see that we have this internet here. There is also what is called the great internet of the souls. You didn't know that, right? As above, so below. The reason they could create the internet the way it is now, the interwebs, whatever you want to call this whole World Wide Web, is because there is an internet of souls. It is at that frequency that we will be communicating. It is at that frequency where we will be connecting telepathically, energetically, meeting in the ethers and going to do the work. So it becomes very important that you tap in. Like I said, it's an invitation. It's an invitation. And you will see manifestations of different things that are coming. And instead of being fearful, embrace. Sit and embrace and ask the right questions. What is this that I'm experiencing in my body or that I'm experiencing in the dreamscape? What does this all mean? Can I tell you something? In the age that we're coming into, and when you tap into your power, many are going to call you crazy. Get used to it. Many are going to call you crazy because many are still asleep. Many are still caught up in the fairy tale and its book. So many are going to call you crazy. Some will even call you spiritually psychotic. There is a thing called spiritual psychosis, but it's not us. Some will call you delusional. Some will say, now you're hallucinating. because you will start to see things, even with your naked eye, that an ordinary person with a closed third eye won't see. You'll see it. You'll see it, and then you'll say it, and then they'll look at each other, and they'll be like, we need to call the men in white coats, because sister, she's gone. She's gone. So you are going to have to divest or disinvest from what people say or what people think of you. There are many of us who, it's already happened. It happened when we needed to go to initiation school, and a whole horde of people fell away. So we've been mad, we've been crazy ever since, but that's all right. We like our level of crazy. I don't mind being called crazy. Why? Because I know who I am. I know I'm not crazy. I know what I know. And that one will not change just because somebody is calling me crazy. I know what my purpose is, and that's not going to change because somebody decided to call me crazy. So I urge you to be aware. And I know there are many who suffer from this, family rejection, this. We've been talking about this for the longest. Well, it's about to get worse. Because now some of you all are going to be seeing, what do they call those things in lay terms? Flying saucers. It's about to be lit. Some of you are going to start seeing flying saucers. I don't want to say that other word that they use over here because, then I don't want to be flagged for anything. Some of you are going to be seeing stellar beings. Those who do grid work know who they've met at these black magic portals. You already know who you've met at these places. Some of them are not pretty. Oh, some of them smell so foul that you can't even, your vomit will come up and will go back down. Your nose, you'll be like this, your nose will touch your forehead because you're so disgusted by the smell of some of these creatures. Some of you will look at these creatures and be so repulsed. Yay. Mess. You will look at these creatures and you'll be like, oh my God. But the key thing is, don't fear them. Don't fear them, because our stellar ancestors, some of the benevolent ones who are coming to assist in all of this, they interpret your fear. They interpret your fear as aggression. And about Credo, those of you who know about Credo Mutwa, he talked about this. The one thing that you cannot be is fearful. Then the other kind, when you are fearful, they attack, not because your fear is aggression, but they know that your fear is a weakness. So, And some grid workers do come back. When they come back and they're physically sick, like they just want to throw up the whole time because, So I'm just trying to highlight to you guys what stepping into your power looks like in these current times we're in. I'm not talking about stepping into your power in the superficial sense. Whatever power you stepped into before, that was practice. You were practicing. Now the games are on. Now it's wartime. So now you're stepping into your power to get into battle. And like I said, many people will be assigned different things, different battles in different spaces at different times. But that power must be activated. Ne? So I hope I have shared with you guys a little bit about what this full moon is offering you. here is how, in my humble opinion, in what I would do if I was going to use this full moon to step into my power. I would first make a list of the things and be honest, right? Be honest. Nobody's judging you. I would first make a list of the things that are that are hindering me from stepping into my power. Write them all out. Fear, anxiety, lack of confidence, imposter syndrome, disbelief, whatever it is that is hindering you from stepping fully in, write it all out. Then what you'll do is you'll take another piece of paper and you write out, yes, self-sabotage, somebody said it very well, and you write out in a perfect world how you see yourself as a person or as a being that has stepped into their power. How do you see yourself? That is going to be in the form of affirmations. I'm powerful. I'm confident. I'm strong. I'm magical. I am goddess. I am creator. I'm a divine being. Write all the things. I shapeshift. Whatever it is, write it out as I statements there. And now you've got this list of the things that are hindering you. Now, you will talk to the statements that are hindering you and say, you do not serve me in this current dispensation. You do not serve me in this current spiritual era that we're in. I am letting you go. And I have the moon, I have Mother Moon, I have Unom Kubulani to bear witness to me walking away from all this, because this is inherited. It is not inherent to me. Burn that thing. Burn it, let it fall. Then stand there and say, with Mother Moon, with Great Mother, with Unom Kubulani bearing witness, this is me. Read those things that you wrote about yourself. I am powerful. I am this. I am this. I am that. I am this. That one you do not burn. You simply read it. Now, for those of us who are in the cold, you don't even have to see the moon or have the moon in view or be outside. Please don't go outside. You're going to freeze your fingers off. So what you do is you simply maybe light a white candle, you create a nice ambience for yourself, and you do your ritual indoors. She hears you. She hears you. And she's bearing witness to you. Mama, stepping into your divine power. That piece of paper, take it, put it on your altar if you have one. If you don't, find somewhere and keep it. You've just mapped out who you are. This is going to be reposted on YouTube, so you might want to go. Somebody's asking, what do you do with the white paper? The candle is just to raise the vibrational frequency of your space, right? The candle light. That's why I said a white candle to do that. A white candle works a lot like, what do they call this? Is it called clear quartz? Clear quartz augments and amplifies a certain energy, right? So that's why you will light your white candle. So your white candle at this point is not trying to connect with any other frequency. You're simply trying to augment this ritual, to amplify this thing that you're saying as you are stepping into your power. And then when you're done your ritual, you can burn your incense, you can play some beautiful music, and then what you do then after that is once it's done, you can switch off your candle. Now you've stepped into your power. Don't backtrack. Why you want to backtrack? Where are you going? Because you let go of that old things, that old you. You've stepped into your power. Now walk in it. You hear me? Walk in that power. every single day. If you need to take those affirmations out every day, pin them on a mirror somewhere as you are brushing your teeth and you see them. If you don't, just see them. If you want, say them. Speak them, speak them, speak them. Remember the power of the tongue. The tongue is very powerful. And listen, 100% guarantee, you will feel the shift within yourself. It may not be the first day, the second day, but if you keep doing this exercise, at some point, you will feel this shift like, yeah, I've arrived. I'm here now. So we let go of all that nonsense and that illusion, because all that is nonsense and illusion, doesn't belong to your true nature. And then you amplify and augment that which is truly you. And you save it as a reminder for yourself. And you say it daily. And you say it daily. You speak it daily. If you're in your car, you're saying it. Wherever you are, you're speaking it into existence. That's you. You will feel the shift within yourself before very long. And when you start saying, I'm powerful, don't walk around like this now. You know, people who have power don't walk around with their heads bowed. Walk, speak, act as the powerful being that you are. And then wait for your assignment. Because your assignment will come once you have stepped into who you truly are. Your assignment is definitely coming. Watch your dreamscape. Write out your dreams. Even if they're puzzling, good. It's fine. Write them out. Keep writing them out. Don't try to interpret just that one dream by itself. Usually it's a series of dreams, because what you've actually said yes to is a spiritual initiation. And so when you're going through an initiation, you don't always know what the next step is until the next step is given to you. Write out your dreams, and you might find that after 2 weeks, after a month, the whole bunch of dreams suddenly is like pieces of a puzzle coming together. And don't ask me how long this takes. I don't know. I'm not her. Okay? I don't know. I just came here to deliver a message. Very important, family. This, you see why I'm happy. I'm happy most of the time, because I know what I know, and I know where we're being led. I know where we're being led. We're being led out of this illusion of freedom that we have had, not just for centuries, for millennia. For thousands and thousands of years, we've been fed nonsense. And the truth is finally rising as she rises. And divine justice is rising. Ascension is the name of the game. Ascension. So I hope that this has helped somebody. By the way, just to let you know, again, we have started making the groups. For those of you who know, there's a book, it's called Heru, Reclaiming the Divine Feminine. We've started creating the groups. We've got quite a lot of people, so we are doing it in batches of 12 to 15 people. And for those who have purchased the book, for those who want to purchase, go in the link in my bio. You will find it there. Get yourself a copy. You'll be directed to email. We have opened a private group where we will share more resources that support the work that is in this book, because the work that is in this book is just a condensation of what there really is. So the group will then give more information and background about what is in here, because for a lot of people, This is information they've never heard. This is information that they may be like, oh my gosh, what? Yeah. So the group is also there to support. It's literally like we're creating groups. This particular group that is going to be on a platform that I'm not going to mention here. It's a group by invitation only. Once you have your book, you're in there by invitation. Then there are going to be the groups, the Smolinyana groups, where you will interface with me so we can activate those DNA codes. Then everybody, listen, then everybody's on their way. Go sit in your corner. We connect how we connect via the internet of souls, and we get to work. It's time. It's really time. Somebody said, so should we send you email? No, Nana. You go in my, here, right here. If you go in my bio, you'll see a link tree. Go into that link tree. You will find this. There's an ebook version, and then there is the hard copy version. It's up to you which one you want. Most people are buying the hard copy because I always say things like this are a keepsake, because there's not a lot written about the divine feminine. There's not a lot written about her story. And lots of, in fact, majority of what is his story is a bunch of lies. Bunch of nonsense. Everything was inverted. What was supposed to be us became them. What was supposed to be ours, they took and said it's theirs. That's why they can say nonsense things like, hey, men are more spiritually powerful than women. Men are more intelligent. And nonsense. Nonsense. We'll know it's nonsense now because we've been doing the work and we've been finding out that we've been fed a pack of lies. So we're doing this work not just for us. We're doing the upside down world. Yes, absolutely. The map is also messed up. The continents that they have drowned underwater. Y'all, we've been told that the oceans are just, vast. The earth is bigger than you've been made to believe. This place is vast. But they've made you feel like it's some, Smolinyana plant. So, family, I think I'll leave it at that. For those of you who do want the book, just go and you click that link, get your copy. You will be taken when you purchase. You are going to be in via email. The invitation to join the group is going to come. We intend to actually start classes in the second week of February, because we will then be leading into the season of our set, Great Mother herself. So she will find us in school. Actually, she's not going to find us in school. I don't like that word. She's going to find us in circle. Because this is circle. And I've explained why the circle. Because everybody matters in that circle. Everybody matters in that circle. Everybody has a task. Everybody has a job. And no job, no task, no gift is bigger than the other. We are in circle as in Ndlovukazi because we're not going to be competing. There's no hierarchy there. There's no this one is better, this one is this. There's none of that. We are going to be dealing with that issue of us being competitive and us being pitted one against the other. We are rejecting that nonsense. So we'll all be mama's daughters, arm in arm in a circle. Yes, we are in the infinite circle. It's always been that way. Somebody's like, the way church is really supposed to be. I don't know about church. I don't do church. Someone says, wow, you're speaking my words good, which means that we're on the same frequency. It's always wonderful when someone says, Gogo, I feel you, or I've heard this, or I've been given this message too. Because all you're doing is validating that we're on the same frequency. Validating the fact that, guess what? Guess what? Gogo ain't crazy. For one. It says I'm not crazy, because if I'm crazy, then I'm not the only one who's crazy. Yeah, somebody says, I don't read it, just a recognition. Yeah, but you see, church could never be that, my goddess. You know why? Because the very entity that they worship in that church is anti-divine feminine. It's anti-divine feminine. The entity that they worship in what they call church, and everybody calls God, is not who everybody thinks it is. And I've done lots of teachings about that. That is why everything they do is anti-feminine. But they want that power. That's why you find in the Catholic Church, they're all wearing dresses. What is that? They're all wearing long robes. They all do this, and the next thing. Feminine rituals that they stole from the Sibyls. And we will be talking about those sisters, the prophetesses, in class, in circle, rather. They're all in here. So we have got so much that we're going to be doing. So much that we're going to be doing so that we can speed up this awakening, speed up this collective, mass collective awakening. Ali says, God to me is a beautiful black woman. She's mama, all right. She's mama. She's multifaceted. She has so many faces. Yeah. Yes, Leo. Mami water, you know about the mami water and the stolen legacy of the Sibyls, who are the mami water priestesses. Somebody's like, yes, you purchase the book first, because really you can't be in class without the book, because the book is the centerpiece of all the circles that we'll be holding. Yeah. When you go to church, you transfer your energy towards your pastor. You transfer your energy not towards the pastor, but to the entities that are working with your pastor. That is why many people are trapped in churches, because they're literally under a spell that keeps putting them there, and that keeps them giving their money to the extent that their children at home don't have food. They have walked forever to get to this church with this money to go and put in that offering thing. And people don't want to see the truth. It's like, can't you see it? Because you ask yourself, what person in their right mind will go and take, you've got elderlies who are taking pension money that they should be living off of. Some end up penniless and giving the whole thing to the collection plate. There are mothers whose children go hungry because whatever's going on, there must be money to go and give to the church. That offering you're giving, yes, it feeds your pastor and everything. But the entity that you are pleasing is the entity that your pastors are using. And they hate hearing this. They think we are attacking them. And their followers will, this is what shows me that there's some work that's been done on them. They become rageful when you talk like this. They come for you. They come for you. Touch not my anointed, saith the Lord. Do my prophet no harm. I'm like, oh, you who are defending the indefensible. Okay. And they won't say, see, them, the pastors don't need to say anything because they have their minions. They have their hypnotized minions to do their dirty work for them. That's how that goes. But want to pull yourself back to yourself. Take your energy out of those spaces. Call your energy back to yourself. You weren't created to be a slave to some entity you don't know. Your resources weren't given to you so that you go and feed another man's family while your own family suffers. Pull yourself back to yourself. And you know, after everything that's happened, all these charlatans who've come out and said, yeah, the end times is here, rapture is here, some were building arcs so that people could get on. Only for that, there was that other one who was 3 minutes. We only have 3 minutes. Ujeso uti. All those charlatans were shown to be charlatans. They were shown to be rubbish people. And yet and still, Bagwantu fill those places up. It's insanity. How? How when you have evidence that these people are up to no good? How many? Oh, yeah, one said, oh, rapture has been postponed. Rapture was postponed. That's what they said. And Magwantu bought into that. So they're waiting until the next announcement, until another charlatan makes them sell their houses, sell their cows, sell their property to get on the ark. Until another one comes up and says the same thing. Why are we so intent and for looking for this divinity outside of ourselves? And as long as you are looking for this divinity outside yourself, you are at risk for the charlatans who will eat your money, eat your wives, eat your children, eat you all up. Ali. No, not since the 80s. This has been happening for centuries. There's always a Messiah who shows up and says, I'm here to get my sheeple. I'm here to get my sheeps. And the sheeps are like, we are here. It's just, it's insane. It's insane, family. But on that note, you know, this has been wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this has been useful and helpful. I promise to be back. I'm not saying when, but guys, please go follow me on Facebook if you want to have a good laugh. Like I'm active on Facebook a lot because now I heard that this app, they're about to shut it down over here. So I'm not even investing any more energy here. But I'm on Facebook. It's Gogo Nkanyezi Speaks, the same as my YouTube channel. So please come and support, family. Seriously. A lot of this work that we do is made possible by whatever funds come through from your subscriptions, your follows, and all this. That is what these funds are used for, is to create more avenues to awaken people. So, listen, one love, Black Nation. I love you guys so much. Masithokozeni.